The Unicorn Project is a novel about the world of IT, which is already a pretty unique angle. Me as a developer, I found this book surprisingly relatable in many parts of it. In this video I'll share my honest thoughts on it, what can we learn from it, and why it might be the next book you should read. Hey, I'm Eugene, a data engineer with 5 years of experience in the field. Today I'm doing a book review of The Unicorn Project, a novel about developers, digital disruption and thriving in the age of data, written by Jin Kim, a great mind behind the DevOps movement. The Unicorn Project is a companion book to another book written by Jin Kim, The Phoenix Project. The Phoenix Project was released in 2013, much earlier than the Unicorn Project. But very important, you can read the Unicorn Project without reading the Phoenix Project. Both books describe the same company, the transformation of the same company, the overlapping events happen in both books. But the Phoenix Project was written from the perspective of a guy named Bill Palmer, a newly appointed vice president of IT operations. But the Unicorn Project tells the same story, the transformation that happens in the organization Parts Unlimited, but from the perspective of a software engineer. And I think it's pretty cool because in the Phoenix Project we see the story from the perspective of a newly appointed executive, but in the Unicorn Project we can see the whole story and this transformation from the bottom up. And with that we have a full holistic view of everything that happens in this book, and I think that's truly amazing. And here is the premise of what's going on in the book. Our protagonist is a developer lead, Maxine Chambers. When she comes back from the vacation, she is informed that she's been exiled to the Phoenix Project. Why she's been exiled? Because while she was on vacation, there was a major outage happening at Parts Unlimited related to the payroll system failure, and someone needs to be blamed for this outage. And she's unlucky enough to be the scapegoat for this situation. So she gets exiled to the Phoenix Project. The Phoenix Project is this major initiative going on at Parts Unlimited. They are an old company, and now in the digital age they finally need to have a proper e-commerce application to be able to sell automotive parts online. But that all sounds great, but the execution of the Phoenix Project is terrible. That's literally probably the worst project existing at Parts Unlimited. Why? Because when Maxine joins the team, she has the following issues. She can't build the application, and no one else around her is able to help her. She just comes there, she wants to start working on it, but she literally just can't build the app. She has always access issues. She can't get permissions for this and that to actually get the code to at least read it, and it takes her quite some time to move along this permissions chain to actually to be able to do at least some work. Another issue is missing documentation, obviously. There is no documentation, and literally it's very hard to find people that have the holistic view of this Phoenix Project and that can help her to at least get started. Because everyone in the Phoenix Project is working in silos. And one more issue that I'll mention is bureaucratic blockers. So here is just a quick example. At certain point she found out what she needs to do. She created a ticket in a terrible ticketing system, and then after a while she finally sees that someone picked up her ticket. She looks at the status and sees that her ticket is being rejected because she made some tiny mistake in the way that she created this ticket. But it has been such a long time that she waited for the point until someone picked it up that she's just devastated because she's always constantly in this waiting place. And this waiting place is described as a feeling of being constantly stuck and not able to do the actual work. And all these issues happen under the immense pressure from the management and executives because this time they were not able to extend the deadline because the situation at Parts Unlimited is so bad that they need to release this Phoenix project as fast as possible. So there are often references to this sense of urgency that developers and operation guys, they all need to have to release it as fast as possible because the business is going down, it's struggling so much. And this is their main bet for the turnaround. But as you can imagine, how good can this release go when literally none of them can bring all these pieces of the system together and do a final build. And with that, they do this release. So as you can imagine, this release went pretty bad. After that, Maxine meets a group of like-minded developers that call themselves the Rebellion. Kind of a secret society of people in Parts Unlimited that actually want to change something, that see all these issues happening around them, but their goal is not just to go with the flow, but actually make the change and make the difference, to change something in the organization, for the better, of course. And here are just a few names from this rebellion group. It's Kurt, Dwayne, Shannon, the security specialist, Brent, the guy, a very talented engineer from operations, Wes, a lead in IT operations, and all this rebellion, they meet on the regular basis at the bar named Dockside. It's like their informal brainstorming area where they can meet, share their pain points, come up with solutions, how to help each other, and how to make their work better as it should be. This developer group operates like a community that starts with a super small amount of people, but then when they, for example, interact with some engineer in the company and they see that this engineer does a great job and fits their like values for the change to transform their company, then they approach this engineer and invite him to join the rebellion. And that's how this rebellion grew from the super small group of just several people to a group of, I think, even like more than 10 people or something. I mean, it grew like a lot during the book. So after this Phoenix project failure and after they formed this tiny rebellion group, they start working on a system called Data Hub. This Data Hub is like a central component, a central piece in the whole system, like a messaging service that all other services depend on. So you can imagine how critical this service is and how reliable it has to be. Obviously, before, because they had all these issues, sometimes their issue was in this Data Hub project. And they start working on it and improving on it. So in this Data Hub, they start a focused initiative to fix concrete problems through better data access and integration. And as the Data Hub team proves themselves, earns some trust from other people in the organization, their mission grows. And they become the core of what's called the Unicorn Project. The project that will do the actual change in the how development side and operations, how they all work together and improve processes. The Unicorn Project team does not have superpowers, so it's not like this they can change the whole organization and turn around everything. But step by step they do small improvements that together compound, and overall with the time it really does make a difference and changes the whole tech area, tech field in Parts Unlimited for the better. So here are just a few things that they have did. They delivered real value for the business. first of all, because this is like a retail operations company. And they did that by doing successful promotion campaigns. And as you can imagine, to do the promotion campaign, you can bring like a lot of data from different parts of organization, prepare it in the form that marketing team can work with it and do these promotions actually. Then they have to, like, during this process, navigate their red tape, and that's where the Shannon from the security helps them. Also, as I mentioned, they earn some trust from other people in their organization, and they even have some people from the leadership team, from high-level top executives who join this rebellion group, and it helps them to navigate this red tape, obviously. And with that, they build this momentum, the compounding effect, and it gets better and better and better with the time, the more things that they achieve. The turning point, the moment after which everything changes for them, is their Black Friday win. They achieved this through their great work at the Data Hub, by doing successful promotion campaigns, and by making their e-commerce platform more reliable, to be able to actually handle all that traffic that comes to them from promotions. With these things, they achieved this great win on Black Friday and beat their sales expectations. But even after this Black Friday win, they still had to change a lot, to transform a lot, to fix so many issues. And like another obstacle that they had was the task from the board of directors to reduce costs. And as you know, it often comes with the layoff. To be fair, they had a good CEO at Parts Unlimited that was on the, so to say, rebellion side, that was very mindful about it and wanted to avoid layoffs as much as possible. And together they were coming up with approaches on how to reduce costs without laying off people. I mean, to save as many people as possible, and they did it by cutting on unessential software, by reducing maintenance costs, like for example by migrating to the cloud and getting rid of the everything related to managing their on-premise servers and all that kind of stuff. And of course by looking like for better providers for the services that they need at the company. Also, they have done a bunch of internal transfers instead of just laying people off, because of course when you have a great engineer and you see that you still have like a huge digital transformation in front of you, you don't want to let this person go. You would rather transfer it from the part of the company that is being outsourced to some other essential team or area where his expertise is needed, because the people are the crucial thing, because it's the people who build everything. And I think they did a great job there. So as I already mentioned in the beginning, this Parts Unlimited company, it's a pretty old one. And obviously they have some issues with doing an innovation there. So in order to spark innovation in an old company, they came up with the concept of Innovation Council. On this Innovation Council, all teams from entire organization have a chance to present their ideas to the jury and other people who are interested in it, and then the jury selects top 3 ideas, and after that these ideas get funded and have some time to explore the idea and to evaluate its feasibility. And if it turns out to be feasible, they get even more funding and have a chance to implement this idea so that they become an actual feature in the system. As you know, the Unicorn project is written from the POV of the software engineer, so we also get some hands-on engineering principles here. For example, a test-driven development that is used here and mentioned in the book. If I remember correctly, Maxine uses it when she tries to understand the code base that is hard to understand, and she works with it for the first time. Also a functional programming, so Maxine is a huge fan of it, and of course some other things like the composition of complex components and all that kind of stuff. And here are the key themes and lessons from the Unicorn project. The first one is locality and simplicity. The idea is that developers should be able to make changes by working in one place without touching unrelated systems. Uh, Maxine experiences this ideal when she refactors a messy chunk of code into just 50 clear lines of the functional code. And this is a moment of flow and clarity that shows how much faster and safer development is when things are simple and self-contained. The second ideal is focus, flow, and joy. So, the great work happens when developers can stay focused and do a deep, focused work without constant context switching and interruptions. Maxine experiences this ideal when she works on her open source project. She doesn't have the issues with flow and joy there. She's uninterrupted, she's productive, and actually enjoys the process. It's the opposite to all the issues that they have in Parts Unlimited, like always being stuck in meetings, waiting for approvals, and blockers. The third ideal is the improvement of daily work. Essentially, it's very simple. You just don't ignore the broken processes, but you work on them. For example, at my company, and I think in many companies nowadays, people do retrospectives, and on these retrospectives, people from the team gather and discuss what went well and what wasn't so good. So, on things that went well, you just keep doing them and build up on this success. But on the things that went not so good, you try to spot these broken processes and to do an actual change to spark this improvement there. In the book, they achieve the improvement of daily work by doing internal knowledge sharing, something that they call Teaching Thursday, and by doing postmortems. Postmortems is like a blameless investigation after some firefighting and outage where they try to discover what went wrong and how to prevent it from happening again. The fourth ideal is psychological safety. Initially, Parts Unlimited is not a safe place at all. We even see it in the Maxine's example where she gets blamed for something that she didn't even do and got exiled to this bad Phoenix project. And the Rebellion, this secret group of people that wants to transform the company for the better, it works. Because it's safe to speak up there, it's safe to make mistakes there, and it's safe to try things and break things and learn from it. That's why it works so well. The fifth and final ideal is customer focus. So, as we know, the whole purpose of the company is to satisfy the customer's needs. So, that's what everyone in the company should keep in mind and to build their work around it. To achieve this ideal, they actually have a very nice thing in Parts Unlimited. The Parts Unlimited is a company that sells automotive parts, and they do have physical stores. So in the story we see how Maxine works as an in-store employee to see the real pain points of the people who work in these stores, to interact with the customers, to see what customers need there. And this is really something that makes a huge difference. So real developers' work is to help real people, and that's how they achieve it in the book. And one last thing that I really liked and has even written it down separately is splitting the organization areas into the core ones and context. The core is something that is rewarded by the customer, and the context is something that is either critical or non-critical, and it can be things like human resources, accounting, cafeteria, whatever. And the idea is that organizations need to invest as much as possible in the core. because in reality you can really see it very often that companies starts to underinvest in the core things while investing too much in the context. I hope by this point you already do love the book and will read it if you haven't read it before. So the Unicorn Project eventually becomes a success and leads even to broader innovation within the company. Maxine, our protagonist, she gets promoted to a distinguished engineer, a highest level technical role, which is also a cool concept. I really recommend you read separately about it. Then there happens a company-wide culture change. From slower to faster, from siloed to collaborative. It becomes safe to experiment and to learn things and try things inside of Parts Unlimited. And the last but definitely not the least, something that I truly love about the Unicorn and Phoenix project is that they use fictional stories to make complex organizational and technical concepts relatable and engaging. This is just amazing. I do love it. So, if you are a developer, IT professional, or anyone working in the large organization facing challenges with digital transformation, this book would be amazing for you to read, and I really do recommend it. You will get the practical lessons from this book and inspiration to improve your day-to-day work. I enjoyed this book, there were so many things that I was able to take from it, and the fact that it's disguised as a technical story, that's really something that I'm personally a huge fan of. However, if I have to choose between the Unicorn Project and the Phoenix Project, I choose the Phoenix Project. By the way, if you want to check out the Phoenix Project review, you should see a recommendation now or go for it from the end screen. And I'll also include the link in the description. So you have 3 options, choose whatever you like, but yeah, check this also out. Let me know what you think of this book if you have read it, and also feel free to drop your book recommendations in the comments. I would be really excited to see them there. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, that would be very nice. If you're into software engineering, data engineering, analytics, SQL, all that good tech stuff, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I share a lot of content around these topics here, and I would be very happy to see you here. Thank you very much for watching, and happy coding.